20% chance of scattered shower and thundershower activity moving up from the south. Low tonight near 50, and then tomorrow we're back to the mid 70s with a west wind at 50.
Great to have you along this morning. Thanks for listening and participating with the Greg Belfrage Show. I very much appreciate it. Here we go.
Halfway around the world, we've got you covered.
Too loud.
News Talk 1320, 107.9, and Kello.com. A doctor of discernment on the air.
I love the Greg Belfrage Show.
I've been listening to you for years, Greg. Thanks for all you do and keeping us informed.
You sound a little taller on radio.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser. Americans play to win all the time. I don't believe in the no-win scenario.
This is the Greg Belfrage.
Good morning, my friend. The marketplace of ideas is open. Welcome to the Greg Belfrage Show this Monday morning, October 21st this morning. Well, we saw Donald Trump making fries at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania, and everybody is captivated by this. I mean, this footage of Trump making fries at McDonald's is just huge. His interaction with the staff, with the folks that were coming through the drive-thru, I think it was pretty incredible. He seemed to be having a good time. So Trump cooked and served the French fries then to customers, and he was handing them out at the drive-thru window. He was actually there at the drive-thru window, handing bags out to folks and talking to them as they were collecting their meals. And so Trump said, "Hello, everybody. It's my first day at McDonald's. I'm looking for a job," Trump says. So he also he used this to take aim at Kamala Harris, and he said, because there have been accusations that she did not work at McDonald's as she has claimed. And Trump said, "I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala at McDonald's," he said through the drive-thru window. He was handing out orders to folks. And he said, "I really wanted to do this all my life, and now I'm going to do it because she didn't do it," he said. And then he claimed he spoke with McDonald's about Harris' claim and her claims that she had worked there. And he said she shouldn't lie about it. McDonald's confirmed 4 times that she never worked there. But let's not talk about that. It's an amazing business. It's an amazing country. And we're going to make America greater than ever before. So he, I watched a few of these videos. You know, he's donning an apron and takes his suit coat off and puts on an apron, actually cook fries. And as he was doing that, he was visiting with reporters at the same time. And he said, "I love McDonald's. I love jobs. I like to see good jobs. And I think it's inappropriate when somebody puts down all over the place that you work." He said, "Think that was a big part of her resume, that she had worked at McDonald's," he said. So he had a good time. It certainly appeared that he was having a good time. And Trump said, "Look how happy everybody is. They're happy because they want hope." I really appreciated this comment that he had made. I think he's right about this. Trump says, they're happy because they want hope. They need hope. And that's what we're going to do, is give much more hope than you're going to make. We're going to take hope and make it back, Trump said. I'm not sure I understand what that means. But so then they also talked to the owner of the franchise, and so drivers were going through, one's exclaiming, oh my God," going through and then Trump pointed out the window. He said, "Look at all the fake news over there." And as he handed it out, he said, "You know, this is compliments of Trump, okay?" And then he turned to the folks. I think he was turning to the franchise manager and saying, I can do that, right? I can pay for all this, Trump saying. So Trump was pretty adamant that he wanted the campaign to pick up the cost of everybody's lunch. So that was pretty incredible. If you watched any of those videos, I think he was having a great time. And this story is really, it's about everywhere this morning. And I appreciate what Trump was saying, but he was telling everybody, this is compliments of Trump. Okay, we're going to pay for this. And then he turns right to the manager. We can do that, right? I can pay for all this, Trump says. And then you get the reaction from the Harris Walz campaign. Tim Walz is on social media. Seriously, a lot of the reaction to this is just brain dead. It's just brain dead stuff. I mean, Donald Trump's never worked a day in his life. It's like, wow, man, the anger isn't it incredible, the rage that you see? And just the anger, and it's coming from Democrats. It's just absolutely incredible. So Donald Trump then also was at the Jets-Steelers game, and he posted a picture of himself in a Pittsburgh uniform. So he attended Sunday Night Football last night and watched his the home team Steelers take on the New York Jets. So he was spotted sitting in a suite box. He had arrived in the middle of the first quarter of the game, and there's a photo of him, fists in the air as he's watching out. There are other photos of him, pointing and watching the game. So he waved to fans from the suite, but he was showing, two fists at one point, crowd cheering. And of course, Pennsylvania is a big swing state for Donald Trump. It's an important state. So Trump was there. A woman ran onto the field in the fourth quarter carrying a sign that read, "Trump secure border and Kamala open border," according to the footage that was posted online. So she got escorted off the field. And Trump wrote on True Social, he said, "Thank you to the Steelers fans for the great reception tonight." This was after the game. And he said, "November 5th will be the most important in the history of our country," Trump said. So again, he was cheering from the suite. And there are a number of them. And I love this AI-generated image of Trump in a Steelers jersey. You see that? Those of you who are watching the webcam, there's the photo of Trump in the Steelers jersey. All right. Also, now that really is the story of Trump at the McDonald's and going the Steelers. The legacy media is the story that they're focused on today is a Donald Trump talking about he mentions Arnold Palmer and all kinds of reaction to what the legacy media is calling vulgar and on and on. Appalled, crude. Jake Tapper is picking up on this, what Trump had said regarding Arnold Palmer, excuse me. And he was talking about in the locker room. And the media is just going nuts with that story. It's let's like at Google News this morning, which is, if you want to take a look at what the legacy media, what their talking points of the day are going to be, Google News is where you go. I think it's the Bible of the left-wing media. And man, that story is just all over the place. I think a much bigger story is Elon Musk. And he is under fire because Elon Musk said, talking about these $1 million giveaways in Pennsylvania, he's giving away $1 million through election day. And so he's announcing he's giving $1 million randomly to people who sign his petition in favor of the First and Second Amendments. And he announced this on Saturday, that he would be doing this randomly, just giving it away randomly to people. And in fact, even then chose the first winner and did so. And so he said, this is Elon Musk now. He said, I have a surprise for you, which is that we're going to be awarding $1 million randomly to people who have signed the petition every day from now until the election. One of the challenges we're having is like, how do we get people to know about this petition? Because the legacy media won't report on it, he said. Not everyone's on X. So I figure, how do we get people to know about it? Well, this news, I think, is going to really fly. Oh, yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So Musk said, so every day between now and the election, we'll be awarding $1 million starting tonight. And he said the only request was that people be a spokesperson for the petition. And if you're out there speaking on behalf of the petition, again, that's the petition in favor of the First and Second Amendments, that if you're a spokesperson, then you are, you're in it. And so, of course, that brings reaction then from the left. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro said yesterday that Elon Musk planned to give away $1 million to registered voters who signed the petition, deeply concerning. Should be looked into by law enforcement. I think there are real questions with how he is spending money in this race, how the dark money is flowing, not just into Pennsylvania, but apparently now into the pockets of Pennsylvanians. He said yesterday on Meet the Press, that is deeply concerning. Shapiro said, I think it's something that law enforcement could take a look at. I'm not the attorney general anymore of Pennsylvania. I'm the governor, but it does raise some serious questions. So he's out there saying that. Also, you've got, oh, forgive me. Well, that story is trending this morning. That story is trending, and I'll have more coming up. So Elon Musk now said yesterday he plans to upgrade his security. A left-wing German magazine labeled him an enemy of the people. Are you kidding me? Enemy of the people. See, this is what happens if you defy the left, if you are, you're outspoken, you're opinionated, defy the left. This guy's an enemy of the people. So he was recently on the cover of a German magazine. They labeled him public enemy number 2. Who do you think number 1 is? So, and Musk said, I'm like enemy number 2 of what? Democracy? I mean, I'm pro-democracy. I'm literally trying to uphold the Constitution and ensure we have a free and fair election, Musk said. And that brought a lot of a response from the crowd. Musk is revered by a number of people. And he said he was at a campaign town hall in support of Trump. And Musk said of the left, they claim they're tolerant, and yet they're incredibly intolerant in spewing hate. Whereas on the right, I see people who tend to regard people on the left as, well, misguided, but they don't hate them. But the amount of hate coming from the left is like, wow, next level. Elon Musk is absolutely right about that. He is absolutely spot on. Also, oh yeah, and we're talking about the concern from the left. You got people. Governor Gavin Newsom was taken aback by the news. Jen Psaki at MSNBC and that parade of clowns. I'm very concerned about our country where people like Elon Musk, others that are sucking up to Donald Trump. Is Musk sucking up to Donald Trump? You support somebody that's sucking up to them? I don't see Elon Musk sucking up to anybody, do you? Also, we have Senator Lindsey Graham, who just went almost, I don't want to say wild, that would be, but he said members of his party who are, now we're talking about Republicans who are supporting Vice President Kamala Harris' campaign over Trump. He asked, what the hell are they doing? He said, supporting the most radical nominee in the history of American politics. And so he was on Meet the Press, and he said of Kamala Harris, not only does she support the Green New Deal, Medicare for all, she was the last person in the room before Biden decided to withdraw from Afghanistan. She was the border czar. She cast the tie-breaking vote for an Inflation Reduction Act that gives you high prices. What are you doing? You're trying to convince me that Donald Trump's rhetoric is the danger to this country? The danger to this country is the policies of Biden and Harris. Her fingerprints are all over this disaster. And he said that he can't take 4 more years of this crap. When you support her, you are supporting 4 more years of garbage politics, he said. It's worse than that. It's worse than that. Also, we've got CBS News breaking its silence over the, I would think CBS News in that Kamala Harris interview and the questions about editing and so on, you would think that CBS News would just let that, okay, it's been over a week now. Just let that go, right? Just let it go. Don't respond. CBS has to respond, and they say, no, actually, it was this. What CBS is saying is that what happened between the two, both Meet the Press then and 60 Minutes, was they chose separate portions, same question, and that was her response to the question. And they still have not released not even the transcript. They haven't released a transcript of the entire interview. So I can't say that I'm very surprised by this. This is why I don't watch the legacy media. This is why I do not consume news from the legacy media. I just don't. Over at Town Hall, they said, hey, Matt Vespa, who's, I'm a fan of Vespa's. Hey, CBS, what in the fresh hell is this statement about Kamala's interview? Yeah, they say nothing. Said absolutely nothing. Other big stories this morning. Israel began bombing Lebanese branches of an association that is accused of financing Hezbollah. And this was reported by Lebanese state media late yesterday. National news agency said at least 3 branches had been hit. It's another strike. It's It's also reported that a strike had landed near Beirut's airport, the main entry point of humanitarian assistance to the country. And there's footage of this. So the Israeli defense minister told troops yesterday the military was stepping up its strikes on Hezbollah in Lebanon, destroying them in places that Hezbollah planned to use as launch pads for attacks against Israel. So the war continues. And then I want to thank everybody who donated blood on Friday. I heard from Ken Versteeg, a community blood bank, that and Ken said we had an outstanding blood drive Friday with 75 people coming out to impact community patients' lives. There were 65 donations. And he said that will save up to 195 lives. This is way beyond expectations and so appreciated. You and your great listeners have truly helped us. Thank you for making such a significant difference and being a huge part of our mission. Wishing you all a good week ahead. So thank you, my friends, for turning out and helping Community Blood Bank. On Friday, we were out at Outback Steakhouse. And again, 65 donations of blood. That will save up to 195 lives. Thanks to all of you. All right. It's 6:27, mostly clear, and 63 in this hour of the Greg Belfrage Show, brought to you by the Window Shop of Mitchell, offering custom windows starting at $99 a month.
Robbins, weekdays at 2.
Woo!
News Talk 1320, 107.9.
The Kello Hotline is brought to you by Tires. See in-store details about how to get rebates from major tire manufacturers. 2 Sioux Falls locations to serve you.
Leaves are falling. Get your gutters cleaned and replace this fall and get ahead of the predicted wet, heavy snow with ABC Seamless. Voted local best 20 years in a row. They'd like to thank Sioux Falls. Call today.
ABC Seamless. It's a Motown Christmas featuring former members of the Temptations, Miracles and Contours. Friday, November 8th at Washington Pavilion, Sioux Falls. Tickets at Washington Pavilion box office. Presented by BPE Productions.
Vote yes on Measure 29 and unlock potential new revenues for South Dakota. In Montana, legalizing adult use marijuana has resulted in over $135 million in tax revenue. Vote yes on Measure 29 so we can stop government waste. Our current laws can ruin lives with overly harsh penalties for simple marijuana possession. Stop government waste on marijuana arrests and focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Measure 29. Go to yesonsd29.com, paid for by Yes on 29 Ballot Committee.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be...
Won't you be glad when this election is over? Just to be... Man, I was watching television over the weekend, and the number of inserted, political ads is just like, oh, man, they're crushing. It's a big election. If you haven't already voted, I hope you have plans to get out and vote. I think it's just critically important. I got some, we'll talk about Elon Musk and that $1 million coming up a little bit later this morning. People giving $1 million away. I support those things because it's just the right thing to do.
Scattered rain, but it does look just scattered.
I don't want to say I wouldn't accept the $1 million, but I think I'd have trouble taking it.
From the Storm Center at Kettleland TV, I'm meteorologist Brian Karsten.
And in Sioux Falls at 6:30, it's mostly clear, 63 currently at Kello. Joe Bowman is in the Kello.com News Center. Coming up, a missing South Dakota girl has been found alive and the suspect believed to have abducted her is under arrest. Joe will have details for you on that story and more. Coming up, we'll take a look at stories that are trending this morning in Belf's News Gallery. Coming up.
Again, claiming Vice President Harris never really worked at a McDonald's like she says. Former President Trump serves fries to pre-selected drive-through customers at one in Pennsylvania, then campaigning in Lancaster.
I want to wish her a happy 60th birthday. Right? No? No, happy birthday. And many more, and I mean it.
Harris spent part of her birthday at a church in Atlanta.
What kind of country do we want to live in? A country of chaos, fear, and hate, or a country of freedom, compassion, and justice?
She campaigns today with former Senate Republican Liz Cheney. The Dodgers win the National League pennant.
LA beat the Mets 10-5 in Game 6 of the National League Championship Series to punch their ticket to the World Series. The Dodgers and Yankees will meet in the World Series for the 12th time, but the first time since 1981.
Fox's Tim McMaster. America's listening to Fox News.
News brought to you by Sioux Falls Implant and Sedation Dentistry. They fix your teeth while you sleep.
Kello News Time, 6:31. I'm Joe Bowman in the Kello.com News Center. A missing South Dakota girl has been found alive, and the suspect, believed to have abducted her and take her across state lines, is under arrest. The Meade County Sheriff's Office says the 13-year-old girl was reported missing yesterday morning. Police in Wyoming arrested 22-year-old Sean Carlos Payne of Omaha. Authorities say Payne is a registered sex offender and is wanted in Nebraska on multiple charges. The suspect remains in custody in Wyoming. Another detachment from the South Dakota National Guard has been deployed to the U.S.-Mexico border. About 50 soldiers from the 109th Engineer Battalion left as part of a year-long Title X federal deployment. Their mission is to provide logistical support for Operation International Drug Trafficking. They'll be supporting Customs and Border Patrol agents in Southern California. Things are looking up for K-12 students in South Dakota. The State Department of Education released its 2023-24 report card on Friday. The report showed proficiency in English and mathematics both increased by 1 point this past year. Statewide attendance also increased from 86 to 87%. Fans in Sioux Falls got some disappointing news after Pink announced she had to postpone tonight's show. The pop singer cited reasons beyond her control in an Instagram post for having to postpone tonight's concert at the Denny Sanford Premier Center, along with 3 other Upper Midwest shows. Pink says tickets will be valid for the rescheduled dates, and she'll have more information soon. And in sports, the nationally top-ranked Jackrabbits lost to number 2 North Dakota State 13-9 in Saturday's Dakota Marker game. The Jackrabbits face off against number 4 Coyotes this Saturday. The game will be televised on ESPNU. And the Minnesota Vikings suffered a 31-29 loss against the Detroit Lions at US Bank Stadium. The Vikings are tied for first place in the NFC North at 5-1. Minnesota takes on the Rams in LA this Thursday. From the Kello.com News Center, I'm Joe Bowman.
The news never stops. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9. Weather brought to you by Intech Cleaning and Restoration. If you need it clean, call the Intech team. IntechClean.com.
Partly sunny skies today and still very warm in the Sioux Falls area. High around 80 with a south wind 15 to 30. We do have a 20% chance of scattered shower and thunder shower activity moving up from the south. Low tonight near 50, and then tomorrow we're back up in the mid-70s with a west wind at 15 to 30. From the Storm Center at Kettleland TV, I'm meteorologist Brian Karstens.
The Sioux Empire's interesting news talk station with the power of information all day, all night. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
With only an outline of the story, without knowing the players, it takes on the eerie feel of a Stephen King scary movie. A large corporation gives away an app to debilitate our kids, knowing full well that the app causes a psychotic addiction in less than 30 minutes. Mood swings, depression, disassociation with the family, and an uncontrollable need to stay on the app all the time, which leads to even more trauma. Fiction? Nope. Your kids and your grandchildren are already captive to this evil. I'm Kim Commando for T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. The app is TikTok, of course. A communist Chinese company gives away the app for free. ByteDance is the evil I've described. As if the psychological trauma that TikTok causes is not enough, consider that when, not if, America confronts China militarily, we'll be facing an enemy with with the ability to speak to and infiltrate the minds of our children. Get my free newsletter at getkim.com. Hey friends, Kim here. You know, it seems the older you get, the savvier you become at saving money. I really hate to overspend on things, especially the necessities. But thanks to T-Mobile, I don't have to worry about overpaying for wireless service, so I've got more time and money to spend on other things. At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a month per line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, Scam Shield Premium is included, which means fewer scam calls and more tools to help you optimize and organize your mobile life. Experience all this and more with T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network. Don't miss out. Get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for $30 a month per line at T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com or your local store to make the switch and save.
With auto pay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details. Capable device required for Scan Shield. Turn on Scan Block. My block calls you on. Disable anytime.
The Kim Commando Show. Live Saturday mornings at 9. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
The Kello Hotline is brought to you by Tires, your Give You More tire and automotive store. Financing programs available. 2 Sioux Falls locations to serve you.
There's an amendment on the ballot that would change South Dakota's abortion law. Amendment G claims it corrects mistakes in current law. But Amendment G is extreme, vague, and poorly written. The amendment allows minors to access abortion without parents' consent. It gives teachers the ability to advise students on abortion, again without parents' consent, and opens the door to painful late-term abortion. Our law may need to be changed, but Amendment G is not the answer.
Paid for by No G for SD.
Farmers and builders, listen up. Purple Wave Auction is shaking up equipment sales. We're the no reserve online auction powerhouse where every bid could be a win. From combines to cranes, tractors to excavators, if it has wheels or tracks, we've got it at purplewave.com. Purple Wave is your ticket to upgrade your operation. Join our nationwide buying community today and see why no reserve means maximum opportunity.
Okay, some mornings you might not have that get up and go.
But at least you can get up and know.
The Greg Belfrage Show, with insightful opinions on the latest stories and taking the weather out. It'll get you in the know while you're getting ready to go. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
Are you looking for a liquor store that's got it all without the hassle? Well, you want to check out the new 49th Street Liquor there at 49th in Minnesota. You got a Halloween bash upcoming, maybe gathering around the bonfire this fall, gearing up for a hunting trip. 49th Street Liquor has you covered. They've got all your favorite beer, wine, and spirits, and a terrific staff. I really enjoyed meeting them. 49th Street Liquor has a huge walk-in beer cave. So you'll want to make sure that you check that out and take a look. They've got a good selection of local beers there as well. They've just got so much there. They've got a humidor with a variety of fine cigars, Dakota Butcher products. These are fresh meats and steaks, pickled products, hot sauce, and they've got a really nice private video lottery space as well. So look for their coupon in the Dakota Scout. So your happy hour starts at the new 49th Street Liquor at 49th and Minnesota. .39, mostly clear, and 63. How was your weekend? Hope you had a great weekend. It's another Monday morning. Thanks so much for being here. This hour of the Greg Belfrage Show brought to you by the Window Shop of Mitchell, offering custom windows starting at $99 a month.
What's trending now?
Add them on Facebook.
Let the tweeting begin. The hashtag does that. News and views from Belf's News Gallery.
Well, Donald Trump worked at a McDonald's, pulled on an apron, and worked the drive-through as customers then pulled up to collect their dinner. And Piers Morgan took to X and called it one of the best political stunts of all time. Donald Trump working at the McDonald's. So Trump was shown how to dunk baskets of fries in the oil, help fill takeaway bags, and he acknowledged the skill of the people working there. He said, you know, it requires great expertise actually to do it right and to do it fast, he said. So he had a pretty good time with the staff there, and that's just a big story. And you watch that. Have you seen any of the video of him working on it yesterday? It's hard. I mean, everybody was happy, and Trump mentioned that it's everybody's happy. Also, the employees at this franchise, apparently, this is staff at a branch of McDonald's, have been sworn to secrecy over whether Kamala Harris ever worked there, because Donald Trump has accused her of lying. So employees at the McDonald's franchise in Alameda, California, said they have been instructed by bosses not to talk about Kamala Harris after claims that she invented her summer job to appear more authentic to voters. So they're not supposed to talk about her or it. Also, Donald Trump. This is also a big story this morning. We'll go to Fox News for a less outraged story than you'll find almost anywhere else, because the legacy media is just going nuts over this. Trump was at a rally in Pennsylvania Saturday at Arnold Palmer Regional Airport in Palmer's hometown. And Trump was talking, he said, I got to know him when I was 60, excuse me, I got to know him when he was 69 years old. And I played pretty much with him, a lot of him, Trump said. And Trump said, and as he got older, you know, when you get older, you start to lose a thing called distance. And I'm a good golfer, not like that, but I'm a good golfer. And I felt so good because I was hitting it a little bit longer than Arnold, but he was by this time 75, 76. And I hit for, 4 or 5 yards past him. So at one point, I said, Arnold, let me ask you, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, was I longer than you? Trump said. And then he went on. Trump said, now this is Trump's sense of humor, and Trump's sense of humor almost routinely gets him in trouble with the legacy media, because those people have no sense of humor. And so Trump said he started talking about how other players reacted to Palmer in the shower. Trump said he was all man. This man was so strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it, Trump said. I had to tell you the shower part of it because it's true, Trump said. So that statement those few statements have the media just reacting, incensed that Donald Trump could say that. As far as, I'll let you draw your own conclusion. Also, speaking of Trump, Alec Baldwin returned to Saturday Night Live, not as Donald Trump, but this time Bret Baier. So Alec Baldwin was back on Saturday Night Live playing Bret Baier as they spoofed the Kamala Harris interview and Fox News. Also, Donald Trump attended he went to Pittsburgh for the Steelers game against the Jets yesterday. And so Trump was there. He was the guest of an individual suite holder, and Pittsburgh went on to win that game pretty decisively. Big win for Pittsburgh. Also, Donald Trump had a rally at Huntington Place on Friday night. This is in Michigan. And the rally was plagued with microphone problems. So Trump apparently was up on stage, pacing around, waiting for the microphones to return. So he was reflecting on the most beautiful word in the dictionary, and audience members began pointing to indicate that they couldn't hear it. So Trump said, if it goes out again, I'll sue the blank off that company. After the mic finally came back on. So Trump said he was blowing out his voice in order to be heard with the microphone. And he said, when I get rid of this microphone at the end of the speech, it's going to be Liberation Day for Donald J. Trump. Also trending this morning, music stars Lizzo and Usher are joining Kamala Harris. And the campaign effort then in Michigan and Georgia, they're out campaigning on behalf of Kamala Harris, and that's not being well received by some fans. Also, Elon Musk says he will randomly raffle off $1 million among those who commit to free speech and the Second Amendment. So he's been out campaigning for Trump in Pennsylvania, and he said he will hand out a check for $1 million every day until Election Day. And this was during his third town hall in the state on Saturday. And he said receipts of the money will be Pennsylvania registered voters who have signed his Super PAC's petition. And Musk said, I have a surprise for you. We're going to be awarding $1 million randomly to people who've signed the petition every day from now until the election. How do we get people to know about this petition? Because the legacy media is not willing to report on it. Not everyone's on X, he said. So I figure, how do we get people to know about it? Well, this news, I think, will really fly. Yeah, it is taking flight, no question about that. This story is all over the place, and then you got people who are responding to it. More from Mark Cuban here in a moment. So Elon Musk he announced the news in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and revealed the first winner. And the guy described himself as a big fan of Elon Musk. And so he congratulated Musk on the recent SpaceX rocket capture. Did you watch that video by any chance? So I had shared it on Facebook. That was an incredible video, the capture of that SpaceX capsule. Pretty wild. So he congratulated Musk on that, and then he thanked him. And he said he's followed Elon Musk's career for years. He said, I got your autobiography 10 years ago, and I've been following you ever since. Big fan, he said. And now, he's received $1 million. Elon Musk is doing that every day through Election Day. So I mentioned Mark Cuban. There was a Cuban reposted the message and tagged Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, which garnered at the time about 500,000 views, saying, I'm pretty sure that while it may or may not violate voting laws, it may violate gaming laws in Pennsylvania, Cuban says. And Shapiro was on one of the Sunday news shows yesterday talking about it. Also, there are a number of stories here surrounding Israel that are trending this morning. Israeli Defense Forces began conducting airstrikes against Lebanon late yesterday, targeting financial institutions that are linked to Hezbollah. Also, there's been a major leak of U.S. classified documents that appeared online over the weekend. These are two top secret documents among which indicates the specific intelligence cannot be shared with allied foreign intelligence agencies. It gets a little bit muddy when you put it that way, but the classified U.S. intelligence documents show Israel's plans then to retaliate against Iran. Well, those have been leaked. And so now an investigation is taking place. Yeah, right. Yeah. Sources told CNN the leak is very concerning. So these were leaked online Friday after they were posted to a Telegram account called Middle East Spectator. Axios reported that the leak was done by a pro-Iranian account. So the documents go into detail about plans that Israel has to attack Iran. Other stories this morning: Israel's dropped leaflets over Gaza, informing citizens that Sinwar has been killed. So they're dropping these leaflets showing Sinwar's body and Netanyahu's message to Hamas. So he is believed to have Sinwar, believed to have orchestrated the October 7 attack on Israel. Stories also trending this morning: the remains of the two crew members in a U.S. Navy jet that crashed near Mount Rainier in Washington State have been found. The Navy announced this yesterday. They said it is with a heavy heart that we share the loss of two beloved zappers. And they said our priority right now is taking care of the families of our fallen aviators. We're grateful for the ongoing teamwork to safely recover the deceased. Also, we've got a number of people being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Cher, Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews, Ozzy Osbourne have all now entered the Hall of Fame. And so the ceremony happened Saturday night in Cleveland. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the big news, is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducting Cher, Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews, and Ozzy Osbourne. And a lot of fun was had by those who were there. Also, the SEC issued an official statement on a controversial non-penalty call in the third quarter of Georgia's game against Texas over the weekend. And they said with 3 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the third quarter of the Georgia-Texas game, Texas intercepted a pass, returned it to the Texas 9-yard line. Texas was flagged for committing defensive pass interference on the play, which resulted in Georgia maintaining the ball with a first down. Fans were pretty unhappy with this. So the game officials gathered to discuss the play, which is permitted, at which time the calling official reported that he erred and a foul should not have been called for defensive pass interference. Consequently, Texas was awarded the ball at the Texas 9-yard line. And there were a lot of people who were unhappy with this, and debris was being thrown onto the field. And so you had a lot of, folks saying that that's inappropriate anytime, regardless. But it was a bit of mayhem due to the call. Few sports stories trending. The Yankees returning to the World Series after downing the Guardians in 5 games in the American League Championship Series. Ended on Saturday night, and the Yankees come out triumphant in that. And then finally this morning, the new movie Smile 2 is the winner at the box office over this weekend. Collected an estimated $23 million from over 3,600 theaters, including IMAX. So that would put the film's debut ahead of the first Smile. That was a sleeper hit. But the sequel doing remarkably well. And that's a look at the stories trending this morning in Belf's News Gallery. Thanks so much for starting your day with the Greg Belfrage Show at 6:56. Mostly clear in 63. And this portion of our show brought to you by the Window Shop of Mitchell, offering custom windows starting at $99 a month.
Latest news all day, every day.
Thank you, my friend, for letting me join you this morning. Hope you'll be back at 9:30 today for the 4th hour of the Greg Belfrage Show. Hope you had a good weekend as well. Thanks so much for being here. Have a great Monday. See you again soon.
And understand the area's ag economy. They also work to understand your needs and provide the right financial